YouTube, what's good? It's episode 9 here, back in with another video, and it's video every day in October, day number 21. Um, I'm pretty sure, no, I know more definitely that I showed my CD collection to you guys back a couple years ago, and it has since grown out of proportion. As you can see, I don't have one, two, not one, but not two, but three huge cases filled with CDs and stuff. Not really that big a fan of jewel cases, so I just throw those out and just keep the CDs and the inserts in them. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna start from the smaller one and work my way up to that big boy right there. So here we go. We got an Apple iTunes thing that came with my iPod back in when I got in like 2005. I'm not sure why I have that. We have Vans Warped Tour 2006 compilation. We got another Vans Warped Tour 2005. Vans Warped Tour 2010. Or no, 2004. Excuse me, 2004. The greatest hits is Guns N' Roses, Skid Row, self-titled album. We have Boston, Walk On, and Boston, Third Stage. We have VH1, Behind the Music. Not sure what that's about, but I guess it is what it is. Seal, self-titled album. Now That's What I Call Music, Volume 2. This was the very first CD I ever bought with my own money. It's pretty cool. You got Buzz Ballads, compilation CD with a bunch of rock ballads and stuff. Aerosmith, Greatest Hits. Van Morrison, What's Wrong with This Picture? Apparently everything. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, So Far. Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic. Billy Idol, Greatest Hits. Billy Idol, Devil's Playground. The Essential Billy Joel. Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. And the Beatles' Love, which is basically the Cirque du Soleil with Beatles. Yeah. And Beatle music, too. So that's the small one. Now we get to the medium-sized one. Now, I do want to mention that a few of these CDs are in my car. Yeah, I still use my car CD player. So what? Bite me. Yeah, some of these are missing. I'll let you know which ones are, and I'll let you know which ones are in my car. So here we go. John Lennon, Imagine, from the movie, documentary, based on John Lennon's life. The Beatles, One, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. It is in my car as we speak. You got Chumbawamba, Tub Thumping. Or Tub Thumper. Excuse me, Tub Thumper. I get knocked down, but I can't get up again. Never gonna get me down. Yeah. Michael Jackson's Bad. Best of Roy Orbison. Michael Jackson Invincible. Michael Jackson Dangerous. We got Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger. Austin Powers soundtrack, International Man of Mystery. Got the Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me soundtrack. And to finish it up, we got the Austin Powers Goldmember soundtrack. We got the soundtrack to the movie Billy Elliot. Not sure why, but we do. Poison, Greatest Hits from 1986 to 1996. We got Michael Jackson's Thriller. Gotta have Thriller, man. You can't beat Thriller, man. Soundtrack to the movie GoldenEye. You got the soundtrack to the movie Superstar. Superstar. Oh, yeah. Got the soundtrack to the video game Grand Theft Auto Vice City. The Beatles, Yellow Submarine. Now, the next one is very, very special. You got Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego soundtrack by Rockapella. Oh, yeah. Can't go wrong with that, man. You got the soundtrack to the Rocky series. Public Enemy. I think this is the 20th Century Masters, which is basically the greatest hits. Hotel California. Not really sure where that one is. Imagine by John Lennon. Can't beat that. Soundtrack to the movie Good Burger. I actually won this on a contest with Nickelodeon back in the day. So freaking cool. Please Please Me by the Beatles. You got Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles. Rubber Soul. You got Help by the Beatles. Sam Kinison, Live from Hell. Jock Jams Volume 4. The soundtrack to the movie Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. Best of Hall & Oates. Not really sure where that one is. I'm going to have to look for that one because I really need to find that one very soon. The Best of George Harrison. You got the Beatles' Abbey Road. With the Beatles. A Hard Day's Night. I don't have Revolver or Beatles for sale yet. Do plan on getting those very soon. This is Mullet Rock, Volumes 1 and 2. Southern rock at its finest. Jimmy Buffett, Songs You Know by Heart, which is basically his greatest hits. Scorpions, Big City Nights. Ringo Starr and his All-Star Band, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. You got 20th Century Masters collection of the Allman Brothers Band. Bond, James Bond, The Best of James Bond. Now that's what I call Music Volume 3. The Big Chill, my favorite soundtrack of all time, as you guys already know. This one is in my car as we speak. Elvis Presley, Second to None. What is this? Pub Rock. Not really too sure what that one's about. It was $2 at FYE. Figured I'd get it. What the hell? Billy Idol, Cyberpunk. Got the Beach Boys, Greatest Hits Volume 1, I think. I hope. Yes, Volume 1. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Greatest Hits. Got 38 Special 20th Century Masters. Big Bang Radio, which was a band back in 2005 I saw at Moonfest. They're not around anymore. And, yeah, they were a pretty good band from what I remember. Tony Braxton. I think this is Breathe Again. I think that's the name of the album. Breathe Again. Bob Marley, Legend. Bob Marley and the Wailers Legend, I should say. Huey Lewis and the New Sports. This one is in my car as we speak. Everyone should have at least one copy of this album, whether it be on iTunes, vinyl, record, CD, or cassette. Bam Margera, Viva La Bands. We got him, His Infernal Majesty's Dark Light, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. Crash Test Dummies. God Shuffled His Feet. Can't beat that. Jimmy Buffett's Fruitcakes. Got the soundtrack to the movie I Am Sam. You got Van Halen, 1984. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles. Lou Bega, A Little Bit of Mambo, Mambo number 5. Paul McCartney, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. We got WWF, Forcible Entry. Schoolhouse Rock, Rocks, which is basically a compilation of music from that show, Schoolhouse Rock. Kick-ass. Megadeth, Greatest Hits. Monster Ballads, Platinum Edition, which is basically the same thing as Buzz Ballads, but this one features a lot of hair metal back in the 80s and stuff. Jamie Foxx, Unpredictable. Jimi Hendrix Experience, the best of Jimi Hendrix. The White Album, Beatles White Album, Disc 1 and Disc 2. Motown number 1s. We got classic rock, hard rock, from the Hard Rock Records, Hard Rock Hotel, Casino, and stuff like that. Greatest Hits of Iron Maiden. We got Linkin Park's Meteora, which is in my car as we speak. Green Day, International Super Hits, soundtrack to the movie Pulp Fiction. We have Godsmack, The Other Side. ZZ Top's Greatest Hits. Elvis Presley's #1 hits, which I also have on vinyl. We have AC/DC Flick on the Switch. We got the best of Elvis Presley, 50s, 60s, and 70s. The WWF Music Volume 5. Crash Test Dummies, The Ghost That Haunts Me. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Road Songs That Rock, I guess. Ultimate Disco, Disc 1 and Disc 2. AC/DC's Ball Breaker, the soundtrack to the movie Titanic. I'm not really sure why I have that, but I do. Soundtrack to the movie Shrek. You got WWF Full Metal, which was the first CD-based soundtrack with WWF songs on that. Blue Collar Comedy Tour. This is from the first one. Blue Collar Comedy Tour Rides Again, which was from the second one, because that means that one's from the first one. You got Nelly Sweat and Nelly Suit. Got these for my birthday back in 2004. Pretty cool. AC/DC Blow Up Your Video. You got the soundtrack to the Broadway musical version of The Beauty and the Beast. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas soundtrack Disc 1 and Disc 2. 3121 by Prince. You got Nirvana, Nevermind. Paul McCartney and Wings Greatest Hits Volume or Disc 1 and Disc 2. AC/DC, For Those About to Rock, we salute you. Space Jam soundtrack. Ultimate Divas. Ron White, You Can't Fix Stupid. No, you certainly cannot. Three Doors Down. What was it called? 17 Days. Fozzy, All That Remains, which is in my car as we speak. AC/DC, Back in Black, which is in my car as we speak. 98 Degrees and Rising. The Howard Stern Private Parts, the soundtrack. Yeah, the soundtrack to the movie, soundtrack to the movie Private Parts. There we go. Guns N' Roses, The Spaghetti Incident. We got Limp Bizkit's Greatest Hits with a Z. Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell. Soundtrack to the video game True Crime, Streets of L.A. We got the soundtrack to Beavis and Butthead Do America. We got the soundtrack to Beavis and Butthead, which was the Beavis and Butthead Experience. I'm pretty sure it was called. The Best of Sounds of Blackness. Deep Purple Greatest Hits. Elvis Presley 1. 20th Century Masters collection of Leonard Skinner. And, of course, the Macarena. Can't be a 90s kid and not dance to the Macarena. So yeah, I guess that's going to do it for part number 1 of this CD collection. And coming up next, we got to go to that big monster right there and go to part number 2. So stay tuned for that.